Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecy 444. I am Gad, your host. A viewer requested a birth natal chart analysis, so that's what we will be doing at this time. Alright, now as you notice, her east point is in her 12th house. Her first house is going to be where you see that AC, the ascendant, which is her rising sign of Taurus, and it's also her first house. And her east point is in the 12th house. So we'll stay with the first house where Taurus is. Alright, I'm just looking at a few things. Alright. Now the first house is how a person sees you. They call it your mask, how you show yourself to the world. Alright, so we'll first describe the ascendant is where the sun was going over the horizon when the person was born. The first house is ruled by Aries, and she has Taurus in her first house. Now Taurus actually rules the second house, which is finances, your income, possessions, and your value system. Now Tauruses can be very patient. And again, if they're about the second house, they can be about the finances. Tauruses can be somewhat dealing with the senses, the five senses. They do like to eat. They like massages as well. They can be patient. They can be really good in a relationship if they are attracted to that person they're in a relationship with. They can be very sensual as well. They can be very attractive as well. Taurus just has to be careful not to they may feel a certain way and they may be correct, but people may not agree with them, and they have to learn how to let the people go their own way, because it's very easy to try to bully a person. And also, because they rule the second house of value, they tend to put value on everything. But you just have to be careful when you're dealing with people, because you can't put value on people that you would do with your possessions. Because when you deal with people, you have to deal with people from an emotional aspect. Now, that asteroid that looks like a diamond is called Pallas. And again, she will get a free report. Anyone who, when they get a natal chart analysis, they get a free report that fully explains astrology, all the 12 houses, all the signs, things about the Archangel cards, a little bit about tarot. The tarot is on there because whenever you're dealing with any type of cards, any type, even if you just went to a psychic, even if the psychic didn't deal with any cards, you're still dealing with astrology. As above, so below, and this is why you get your natal chart. That's very interesting how you see that pyramid in the middle there, and as you can see, it's connected all to the water signs. So that's telling you something right there, which we will talk about a little bit more throughout this reading. So Pallas retrograde is good for social issues. Like they will help out people in need and the less fortunate. So this person may be some type of financial support or some type of support they offer to people who are less fortunate. Pallas can also be the more mature person in a twin soul, twin flame, or soulmate relationship. The twin flame is the twin soul. It's the same soul, different bodies. And then a soulmate is anybody you're in a soul relationship with, but it's usually somebody you have some type of connection with. Now, Lilith in the first house, and she's direct. So, this will be a strong personality. And one thing about Lilith, when she's not retrograde, that means she will wield her desire to be seen, heard, felt. Oh, well, that's in the second house anyway. So we'll say that for the second house. Now, remember, Taurus rules the second house, and opposite Taurus is Scorpio in the eighth house. That 8 degrees is when you're dealing with the tarot cards or tarot cards. 8 degrees is either going to be the strength card, which is the lion and the female, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the strength card. But it could also be the justice card. It just depends on what tarot deck you're using. And usually you won't know that until you get to know the natal chart better. And then with Pallas at 20 degrees, that is your judgment card. And that is Pluto energy. And remember, Pluto rules Scorpio. And even 8 degrees can be Scorpio energy or the eighth house. And the eighth house is always opposite the second house. And Taurus rules the second house. Now, when you go to the second house, where you have Gemini, again, this is about finances, person's value system, person's possessions. But Gemini rules the third house. Gemini is about communications, multitasking, mental, using the mind. It's about young children. It's about publishing. It's about siblings. It's about the environment around you or the brotherhood. It's about short journeys. And again, about communications. So all these will have to do with money. And again, Lilith direct in the second house. She's going to be strong in those areas. She's not going to be repressed. She's going to be strong in the second house of finances. Also, you got the 20 degrees in your palace in the first house, but that 28 minutes, 20 degrees, 28 minutes, 28 can be kind of like off balance or extreme. So whatever I said about your first house, just have to be careful of being off balance or extreme. Palace at Lilith at 2 degrees. That is a high priestess. And remember, Lilith represents what they call a black moon, a dark moon. And the high priestess is the number 2 card, tarot card. And she deals with the crescent moon. So there you see the high priestess there, dealing with moon energy and Lilith energy. But that number 16 is the Tower card, which is Mars energy. And the Tower card can mean some type of overthrow, something falling down, but it can also imply intensity when it comes to financial things. Because you see the same thing with 28 with the bull, Taurus. Now in the third house, which we already explained what's in the third house, but you have Cancer there. The 6-9 has Cancer. So that's actually ruling the fourth house. That's going to be about teenage to adult education, land, property, real estate, family and ancestors, the mother and the subconscious mind, Imon Coeli. And remember, you see the moon right there because the moon rules Cancer. So this third house is a lot like the fourth house. Might be a situation there with siblings. Siblings can be your brother and sister. But this is all going on in the third house. Okay, in the fourth house, Cancer is all about health, vehicle and travel, land, property, real estate. And the moon at 9 degrees is Virgo energy, which is the Hermit card. That is a person who has their own enlightenment. But again, she's being helped by the moon, but she's probably also mother energy, some type of mother presence. And that's number 21, which is also the World card or Saturn energy. So this could be karmic. And then you see Vesta right there. Wherever you see Vesta on your natal chart, this is where you're spending a lot of your energy. This third house energy. And Vesta works with Virgo again, because that 9 degrees could be the Virgo energy. The Hermit card, Vesta works with that Virgo energy. Vesta works with the Divine Mother, which is kind of like Mother Mary energy or Isis energy. And then at 10 degrees is Jupiter energy, which could be finances or even a belief system. and you have number 23 there. Number 23 is like Sirius, the Sirius star energy. But 23 could also be a person that could talk really good, great, charming, with good communications. But 23 could also be like Uranus energy, where things just come out of nowhere and things happen out of nowhere. So this person may have a connection to education, because in her third house she has the fourth house education, but the third house education as well. Also, it's good to take notes because you're going to get hit with a lot of information, and a lot of times people get hit with so much information and they think certain things weren't covered, but they were covered. So that's why I always tell people to take notes. All right, now the fifth house, whenever you see Mars in the fifth house, because see, this is all like Leo in the fourth house. I mean, this is the fourth house, but it's Leo in the fourth house. So it's almost like your fifth house and your fourth house are the same. But the Leo is about children and stuff, but it's also about having fun, ruling the fifth house. But when you see that Mars there, this could be, you know, some type of mistreatment to children, and it could reference when she was coming up, or it could even be her own. But you see that 1111. So, and you see the moon again. 18 degrees is the moon card. 18 degrees. Let me do that again. Yeah, pretty sure the 18 degrees is the moon card. Yep. So it's emotional. And like I said, that 23 could be somebody that's a good talker and stuff like that. But 23 can also be things coming out of nowhere. And you see it again in both these houses, right? Right where you see the moon, you keep seeing that 23. So that's like something coming out of nowhere. That number 11, like I said, some tarot card decks, it is Leo energy. It's a strength card. But in other tarot card, number 11 is the Justice card. But you got Leo right there. But either way, it's too intense with Leo and Mars. And again, this could actually be somebody that's really good with sports, or somebody that's really competitive in sports. But it can also mean like mistreatment to children. When you see Leo and Mars, or you see Mars in the fourth house, or Mars in the fifth house, or Mars in Leo. So you have to be very careful of that. And again, in the fifth house, which should be the fun house, pleasure house, ruled by Leo, you have Virgo there, which is the home, is service. But again, it's small children, small animals, it's health, it's healing, it's co-workers and subordinates. And that 1 degree is a magician card. 14 is Sagittarius energy, the temperance card. And again, Chiron means healing, the wounded healer, but yours is direct, so it is healing. But again, it's 21 degrees, which again is Karmic, the world card, or Saturn, or Karmic. And 13 is like the death card. So it is some type of healing that takes place with that Virgo energy or home energy. And Virgo is a type of mother too, because that's even like the Mother Mary or Isis. Sixth house, again, should be about service and healing. It is a home, though, but then you have a relationship there. And again, Libra could be a relationship, but it could also be business partners. It could be the law. It could still be karmic. It could be legal situations. It could be enemies. In some ways, it could be cemeteries. Mercury retrograde means there's a communication problem, and persons might have trouble understanding. And that cross is the vertex. That's a fated event, destiny. But you see 13, which is again the death energy, Scorpio energy. So it might be some types of communication problems. Some type of Scorpio energy. And this is, again, like I said, in the home. But like I said, it may be some communication problems. And again, this could be the home this person is born into, or it could even be their personal home, their own life, not the home they were born into, but actually their own home. Now, very emotional. See, because you could already see when it comes to family, see that 6-9, that's a Cancer, that's emotional. When you see Scorpio, that's emotions, emotional. And then Pisces is also a water sign. Those are all water signs. And this is the 11th house with friends, association, and groups. And you still see Saturn there. Saturn is, again, karmic. Saturn retrograde is a problem with authorities, problem with patience, problem with some type of abuse. Either you being abused some type of way or you abusing others. And right now I'm at the 11th house. And this again is a spiritual, for Pisces there's spiritual, inspirational, but sometimes a person's belief system could also lead to some form of abuse. So it just seems to be kind of like an emotional situation based on a belief system. And again, when you see Cancer and you see the moon, it could be coming from the mother as well. But Saturn could represent the father. And this is all going on in the 11th house. And that implication, 11th house, is kind of like you know, karmic, but it's still like religion, being around people and stuff, because that's the 11th house, friends, association, groups. But it's still kind of karmic. And number 5, believe it or not, number 5 could be Leo energy. Number 5 could be the 5th house, but number 5 is also Taurus energy, and that's like the Pope. Because like I said, this could definitely have been like a spiritual type family, but their religious belief leads their religious belief causes the sort of like abusive or extreme family, or because it could be extremities. That's why when you see that 28, that's extremes, or it's not balanced, and that's what this is kind of looking like. So the home or the family, which should be, peaceable and growing and should be happy, but it's got this aggressiveness. And a lot of times these people mean well, but they don't understand that their belief system is causing. Whenever you're dealing with a Scorpio or Pisces, this is the 8th house and the 12th house. Scorpio rules the 8th house, Pisces rules the 12th. This is your subconscious mind, and this is stuff that's hidden. Whenever you're dealing with Scorpio and Pluto, you're dealing with secrets and things that are hidden in the subconscious mind, and Pisces is dealing with things that are under the carpet that need to be dealt with. That's what the 12th house is all about. That's what, and Pisces rules the 12th house. This is stuff that has to be dealt with. Even when you see Saturn retrograde, that's stuff that has to be dealt with. It's karmic. It has to be pulled out and dealt with. Now, you like on your free report, you really have to study your 8th house. That's ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. It's all about everything from the supernatural to emotions to technology to forbidden knowledge to astrology to tarot card. That's all in your 8th house. The spirits, you name it. So you have to really get familiar with that because your 8th house has become your 7th house because there goes Scorpio and then Pluto's right there too. And see that number 26 again. 26 is the word of God. So that's why I said so these things are coming about because people believe that it's speaking from God or this is God has said and unfortunately what that does it causes fanaticism. Even when we get to your Pisces and your Neptune is a deceiver, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. The whole Pisces age and all that, that's an age of deception. That's why people in the know, they're looking forward to the Aquarius age. The Aquarius age is when we come out of the age we're in right now, which is the Pisces age, which is built on deception. Like the history you have ain't the real history, and if you knew the real history, it would really be shocking. And a lot of stuff we're being led to believe is true. Is his story. It's his story. It's a lie. It's just his version, which is not the truth. And this stuff is messing people's families up and stuff because of it. All right. All right. So 7th house for relationship. So you see Pluto and you see Scorpio. Main thing you need to know, Pluto at 26 degrees. Again, that's the word of God. Whatever that is, whatever the word of God is. It could be the literal Bible, it could be somebody speaking from the Bible, whatever, but it's the word of God. But it's going to be a major transformation in your 7th house. And this is your house of partnerships, relationships, contracts, agreements. And that's your true north node. Now, if you notice, your true north node is 14 degrees, and so is your Venus. Now, those auras you see, now see your true north node, see yours doesn't have aura. Your true north node is the only thing on your chart that should have that aura. If you see an aura, that means this is some past life stuff, this is internal stuff. These are things you should be concerned with and working on in this life. But your true north node should have an aura. But when it doesn't, it means this is all, like I said, this is probably dysfunctional, problem, and things like that. So 14 degrees is the Temperance card. And that's Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius and Jupiter are all about your belief system. Because once a person gets their belief system right and they get to go through healing, your life can only get better. Because if you're believing some stuff that ain't real, of course it's gonna mess your life up. And that's why I said a lot of times you're looking at people that mess their lives up and all that, but we don't look at what was they believing, who was they around. And if you notice, some of those people, when they get away from those belief systems and stuff, their life tends to get better. Um, so let's first we're gonna study more about the Temperance card, which is number 14. Temperance card will always be about the both polarities, masculine and feminine, the water and the earth. So because she's passing the water in between the two cups, this is card number 14 of the tarot. Temperance, a Sagittarius energy. It's internal change, but they even call it alchemy. And that's what your seventh house is about. So your relationship is going to be about all that internal change. So even the turmoil that you've experienced in this life is still going to be about internal change. And the reason why you see 14 degrees two different times, especially with Venus, because your twin soul, your twin flame, is going to be part of your true north node, and that's why you see it twice, even with Venus, because Venus is going to represent true north node. But before we do Venus retrograde again, Juno is a serious relationship. 17 degrees is the star card, which is Aquarius energy. Like I said, that's the age of awakening, like the age of Aquarius, and that's why your Pisces is in the 11th house. That's ruled by Aquarius, because we had to get past the religious deception of Neptune and get the truth. And then when you get to your Jupiter, which again deals with finances and good fortune, but Jupiter and Sagittarius energy both deal with belief systems. So when you have your Jupiter at 20 degrees, that's when you're evaluating. That's a judgment card, but that's absolution. That's when you're looking at things and finding out what's really real, what's really not, and bringing it to an end. So you're 20 degrees, 10 minutes. Number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune card, which is Jupiter energy, a good fortune, good expansion. So this person coming in your life is going to help you with that. And there goes Pluto again. So Pluto is at number 20, but it's the great transformation. It's going to work with Mercury. It's going to work with, Scorpio, to deal with all these misconceptions, all these secrets, and all this stuff going on. And your seventh house, or the relationship house, is like a purge, because you can't step into the age of enlightenment without going through this purge. Now we want to know about Venus retrograde, because you're going to have to deal with Venus retrograde before your seventh house can actually really benefit you internally, externally, and even financially. Now, just so you know, before I started here, I was listening to the documentary of Big Pun, one of the greatest rappers of all time, and that's a twin flame story. So if you need to check it out, from him and his girlfriend, that's definitely a twin flame story. Because sometimes you need that person to get to where you're supposed to be in this life. So it says if you see a Venus retrograde, that means this is areas of your life that are suppressed and they're going to have to be brought out, just like I told you. There's going to be a reevaluation going on. And remember, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And right now we're in the 7th house ruled by Libra. So things that you're going to reevaluate, possibly friendship, love, intimacy, family relations, even spiritual beliefs. And they're saying Venus retrograde may mean in past lifetimes you were afraid to seek what you really wanted in life. And again, if you're dealing with a fake belief system, that's what's going to happen. And they're saying there were external forces that may have limited you or tried to control you. That's what we've been talking about. So you're going to have to learn how to conduct a mature, productive relationship in this lifetime. And they say sometimes you're seeking fulfillment from your partner, but that seems to come up short. So they say if you have Venus retrograde, you really have to deal with these issues that are even being brought out now. They said only you can make yourself happy. You have to look within yourself and ponder what you give back to your partner and those you are close to as well. And I'm going to say it again. The main thing you have to do is learn how to separate the fake, the false belief systems, whatever they may be, because that's what's really doing you in. Your belief system, false belief systems, is doing you dirty. And then that's why you have Sagittarius in the 8th house. 8th house ruled by Scorpio, because Sagittarius wants to know the truth. Sagittarius is a little bit more mature, and Sagittarius is not afraid to dig until it gets the truth. Now, ironically, your 9th house has become your 10th house. It's still a 9th house, but it's got medium Coeli there. It's got Capricorn there. But see, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so it's karmic. So your 9th house is all about your eighth house reincarnation, taxes, the IRS, debt. I mean, it's unlimited. That's why you have to read it. It's on your paperwork. It's all listed there in the 8th house. It's power struggles in the 8th house, compulsion, stalking, obsession. It doesn't stop. Science, alchemistry, alternative science. It could be business, finances, karma, death and rebirth, ghosts, anything supernatural, aliens, um, managers of, say, artists. So now your ninth house is all about your higher self, higher courts, in-laws, higher laws, long distance travel, religion, philosophy, culture, publishing, and you got Capricorn there. So they're really trying to make your ninth house your eighth house. So you may find yourself in a career like that, maybe some type of teacher career. But as you can see, 16 degrees medium Coeli. Now, medium Coeli works with your true north node. So you definitely have some type of business or career connection with career and reputation with your seventh house and your ninth house. And 16 is the tower, Mars energy. So it may be some type of intensity there or some type of thing that comes down like the tower. 20 degrees again is Pluto energy, judgment. But see, Pluto's there to stop the foolishness, believe it or not. Because Neptune is a deceiver. So Pluto is there to tell Neptune to stop deceiving. Stop deceiving. In order for her to transform and fulfill her life purpose while she's here in this life, Neptune, you got to stop lying. So that's why I said, I hate to tell you, but see, the Pluto, the 8th house deals with graveyards and death and stuff like that. Sometimes people have to be moved. And we may not like it, but some of these people, had not they gone to their graves or early graves, they would have fucked our lives up even worse than they already are. So everything happens for a reason. So you see Pluto there trying to move Neptune's deception out of the way. 22 is a twin flame number, but it's also the start over number because and remember, your ninth house is about like second chances and like second marriages or second reunions or looking at life from a more mature way of view, because even Capricorn is more mature. So 22 degrees is like in the major arcana on the tarot cards, it goes 0 to 21 degrees. 0 to 21 degrees. So 21 is like a restart. And really, like the third house is kind of like the third house and ninth house have this in common. They're both about publishing, and one is about a little immaturity. That's the third house, and the ninth house is more about doing it maybe again, but a little bit more mature now. Maybe with a little bit more knowledge and experience or learning. So that's what you had at 22 there. And remember, Uranus, again, is like your friend. Uranus is going to be your friend because Uranus is going to oppose Neptune, Capricorn, Saturn, and anything that's trying to keep you bound. Uranus is going to try to break you out. So when I say when I say Aquarius energy, like number 17 degrees, that's Aquarius energy. That's the star card, because you want to get away from the water, you want to get away from the Neptune deception, and you want to get to be more trusting in your truth. And Uranus is all about independence. So that's all going on in the ninth house. 10th house again. Aquarius in the 10th house, friendship, association, groups. And these may be people you eventually rely on for income if it's not already happening. But Aquarius is friendship, association, and groups. And again, Saturn retrograde in the 11th house. Again, this is about abuse, some type of controlling or karmic aspect. And you have to learn to not be afraid to speak up for yourself, because some people are afraid to speak up, and that's why they keep getting abused or bullied. You have to hold yourself accountable and other people accountable, because sometimes it's the person that's abusive as well. So they have to learn to repent and don't be abusive. You got to hold yourself accountable, hold other people accountable so that they're not abusing you. You have to learn how to be patient, because Saturn retrograde means that's a person who has no control. You have to learn patience, discipline. You have to learn to hold people accountable. With Saturn retrograde, everything gets harder, and also legal matters and papers and stuff. You may have to end up doing them over again. When you have a Saturn retrograde, you have to be patient and do things right the first time, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself doing them over again. So essentially, you have to bring a form of reality into your 11th house of friends, association, and groups. You can't go by fake religious beliefs. And sometimes you have to just totally get away from those people, because they may, they're not going to change unless they have a epiphany. They're not going to change, which means you have to get away from that. Now, Aries in the 12th house, a lot of aggression there, and the moon is there again at 18 degrees, and even at 33 it's a slick reference to Freemasonry. Now, men usually have Freemasonry or secret societies or whatever, secret knowledge, and then women, they have like Eastern Star, secret knowledge, and things like that. But again, these are all reasons why people are misled. And the moon is a deceiver too. The moon can cause you to doubt and be foggy. And the 12th house is all about deception, because it's ruled by Neptune and Pisces. So this is like an aggressive, aggressive teachings or aggressive beliefs because of Aries. When really in that house you need to slow down, seek out the truth, follow the truth, and begin to change your life based on truth, not religious idealism or fanaticism. Because again, Aries in the 12th house could definitely be a fanatical religionist. And some people don't even think they're fanatical, but let's just say you're one of these Baptists or what, any of them, and you just, I'm in church, I'm in church all the time, in church, whatever. But it's a belief system, and it can be fanaticism, because too much of anything is not good. So when looking for answers, like even on YouTube, there's videos about getting out of a cult, or how to overcome religious fanaticism. These things you can look up in a YouTube search engine or Yahoo search engine and see what comes up, to try to. And the 12th house is also about like I said, things that are in your subconscious mind, things that are you're hiding under the carpet, things that you have to get out of your subconscious mind. You have to get out so you could deal with it, because this is the house of reckoning. You want to reckon with that so that you can overcome it and heal from it. It's also about buildings, so that could be church, police stations, mental places, all these things of these nature. And really, the 12th house is a lot like the 8th house, still dealing with secrets, still dealing with immorality, dealing with animals, dealing with addictions, alcohol. But only in the 12th house, the idea is to reckon it, to come clean. Whereas in the 8th house, they usually tend to keep it secret, try to, to keep staying secrets and stuff like that. So that pretty much will do it for this reading. Now, just to go back over, Vertex Cross in Libra, because Libra is going to be the fated event, destiny, some type of soulmate or twin soul, twin flame connection. So that's your vertex, that's Libra. And then 6th house. 7th house, true north node, Venus. Again, Venus energy. Venus rules Libra or Taurus. And this is the 7th house ruled by Libra, but Scorpio is there too. And Juno also means somebody might be in a sick, a serious relationship with. So it could be any of those energies. It could be any Jupiter, Scorpio energy, Venus, Libra, Taurus energy, Scorpio. Like I said, Scorpio energy. So that's as far as we can go with this particular reading. Keep in mind, we still got the full moon coming up. We had the full moon offer that's out right now. But there's offers even on my channel. I believe it's still there. And also, you could also make sure you have the most recent services offered and priceless. All right. So again, your twin will be helping you one way or another. And like sometimes somebody's in your life and you really don't think they're helping you, but they are. But your life will have a lot of watery extreme situations. Because even Aries, like the 12th house is watery, it's Neptune and Pisces, but Aries is there, so it's going to be extreme. Aries is extreme. It's going to be extreme, but this is part of your transformation. But like I'm the type of person, I try to get to the bottom of everything, because if we always go with emotions, we'll always stay in that emotional zone, and things will never get done because we're always emotional. So sometimes somebody has to, you got to get past the emotional stage and actually set goals to work on stuff to overcome it. So that's what I'm telling you. For you, it's a lot of deception. It looks pretty much like religious deceptions and stuff. Stuff's just not true. Like you could do your own research. That's why I said I would never, because I did that already. I did that in the 1980s. I was in a cult in the 1980s. I thought they said we're the true religion and all that. I was a lot younger. I didn't know how this world really run. Now I do. But back then I was the same when I was in a cult and really messed my life up. So that's why I know for a fact that's the first thing you got to do. What you believe is essential. What you believe is just like putting gasoline in your car. You put some bulls in your car, you're going to mess it up. Same thing, if you believe in a whole bunch of crap that ain't true, can't prove it through history, ain't no facts, just some fools telling you this is what it is and all that, you're going to mess your whole life up. Mess it up life of anybody around you as well. So that's why you want to make sure you know what you want to believe and have the courage, because that's what's on your chart. You have the courage to move away. Even your sun sign is Scorpio. So that's what Scorpio. That's what sun sign Scorpio does. It goes. It's not afraid to go into the deep darkness of Scorpio and pull out, whatever they look at, whatever you call truth. Because Scorpio does try to find the truth and stuff like that. Also, Scorpio is very supernatural. Scorpio has great healing powers. Scorpio can be like an empath as well as like Pisces as well, and they could feel other people's emotions, and they're psychic. They could read things about other people. Scorpios will know things that there's no way they should know that, but they'll know. You can't hide anything from a Scorpio. They will know. So you be making your worst mistake is trying to hide something from a Scorpio. Also, they can be very smart, very strategic, and very vindictive. So you don't want to cross a Scorpio, because they will get you back and you won't even see it coming. And by the time you realize it, you've already been had. So these are all things with Scorpio. But like I said, that's the rule of the 8th house, a lot of power struggles and stuff like that. But again, this person will not see they will not see what the universe is trying to give them if they do not get away from the deception of these water signs, primarily Neptune, Pisces, and anywhere else where you just see deception lurking about. You gotta get rid of those false deceptions and deal with the truth. This is Gat. God bless.